Anybody experiencing this ice storm? Stuck in the house with your family? Anybody stuck in the house trying to manage with all the people that's in there? I don't know if you guys can see the question, but the question is, does love make you do crazy things? Like we hear that all the time, right? People always say love makes you do crazy things. But does it? Is it love that makes you do crazy things? If love is, you know, this feeling and action that's supposed to be great, is it love? So, it is my belief that love does not make you do crazy things. We as human beings have so many emotions, so many feelings that we confuse them, or we rather not take accountability for our actions, and we rather blame something like love or someone else for our actions. So people will destroy you because you cheated on them, or people will try to hurt you. Like, for some reason, when we're hurt emotionally, we want to give that hurt back. Like, oh, you got to feel this, right? You want to, especially when the person is not receptive to your hurt, or they don't seem remorseful, then oftentimes people want revenge, or they feel the rage and want to act on that rage. So you have to ask yourself, when the statement is made, love make you do crazy things. Love don't make you do crazy things. So love is a beautiful thing. Like, you feel love and you want to love and you want to show that action, because remember, love is a verb. So you should be showing healthy love in your relationships, and not just your romantic relationship, but adult children to their parents, siblings, uh, family members, friends. You want to be able to show a healthy love to people. And in, of course, your romantic relationships, your marriages, your significant others, you want to show a healthy love, and you want to make sure that you understand how that person needs to be loved. Not necessarily loving them the way you want to be loved, but loving them how they need to be loved. And that takes communication. So when indifference happen, or situations happen where you feel like they're not paying attention, or something has changed, you can tell. Most of the time women have intuition, and with things we understand when something is not the same, or something is happening behind our backs, right? So you want to make sure you're paying attention to how you respond to certain actions in those relationships instead of reacting. So, does love make you do crazy things? Absolutely not. You make you do crazy things. You are in control of yourself, right? Nobody or nothing can make you do anything. You are the person that can control everything that you do. So if that man or that woman cheated on you and you go and bust the windows out their car, don't say love made you do that, because love didn't make you do that. Hate made you do that. The rage you were feeling made you do that. And when I say hate, not necessarily saying you hate that person, but saying you hate the way you feel after finding out, that adversity that is going on. Most of the time, we don't want to accept those feelings. That's the hardest part, because you can hear about something bad And it don't affect you like it would when the person that you really love does it to you, right? Like you could be at work and somebody can lie, or somebody you don't really care about like that can do something, and you can kind of shake that off like, okay, whatever. But when somebody you love does something painfully disturbing, that's what you hate. You hate that feeling of that hurt. It becomes overwhelming, it becomes devastating, and the only thing you want to do is kill them. You want to do something about it. You want to, like, no, if I got to feel this pain, they need to feel it too. But that's where self-soothing comes in. How are you, maintaining your mental state during adversity? How are you pulling through when you find out something? And don't go looking for nothing.
Shit. Babe. Babe, you seen my phone? Man, give me my phone, man. Real talk. What are you going through my phone for?
Because most of the time, if someone is doing something they're not supposed to be doing, or they're doing something to hurt you, it'll come to the light. What's done in the dark will come to the light. So there's no need to search for anything. No need for it. Whatever is going on, it'll come to you. Why? And two, why look for something that's going to hurt you? Why look for something that will hurt you? Because one, if you're taking care of your mental state, you're taking care of everything that you need that benefits your well-being. And the person that you love supposed to support that. Not to get off subject, but I recently had a video sent to me by someone with what's the girl name? My nerves takes over and I forget my train of thought. But Nipsey Hussle's girlfriend, what's her name, y'all? And I just seen her in the new movie. Can't think of her name. But anyways, she made a video describing how she had to come to the reality of her own flaws when it comes to loving her significant other. And she had to learn that when loving somebody, thank you, Lauren, thank you. When loving someone, you want to not love them in your ego, right? You want to purely love them. Like, you want to love someone in a way that if they walked away, like India Arie said, I'm just glad I knew you, right? You got to be selfless enough to love with a godly love. Even if it doesn't work out, even if it has its trying moments, you got to be able to love each other through those moments. And yes, that does take two. I don't mean to say get beat up or be brutally hurt by someone. No, never that. You got to know when to walk away as well. You got to know what's benefiting you and what is not benefiting you. But love don't make you do crazy things, which is why I have my podcast it's called It's Not You, It's Me. Because even if you're in a messed up situation, you have to ask yourself, why am I staying in this? Why am I not recognizing what is good for me and what is not? And even if you walk away, that doesn't mean that's the end all be all, but that means you're taking the time to separate yourself to understand what it is you need and how to get through that process, right? So we can't blame anything or anyone or love on the outrageous things we do or like the mean things we do. That's your own selfishness and ego. Like when you're wanting to hurt people or you get hurt so you want that other person to feel it, is it gonna make you feel better? Maybe for a split second you might find some joy in whatever you did, but right after that, it hurts. It doesn't go away. It hurts. So at that point, you have to understand, I got to take care of my mental health. I have to understand what I need to get through this adversity. And one of the things I like to say is, just like we have to teach our babies to self-soothe, as adults, we got to learn how to self-soothe, right? Like when you're faced with adversity, it's getting hard, feel like the weight on your shoulders. What can you do? Breathe, calm down, stop, be present in the moment, stop letting your thoughts take control, and breathe. That oxygen is everything. God gave us that breath of life. He didn't give it to us just to wake up. He gave it to us to utilize in different moments, to think, to take time and understand what's happening, accept what's happening, and do what is necessary for you to get through that, whatever it is that you're going through, right? So, big statement that we've been hearing forever, that love makes you do crazy things. No, it don't. People do crazy things because people want to. People feel rage, they feel anger, and they act on it instead of breathing through it, learning how to accept what's happening, and moving forward. And that doesn't happen overnight. That takes work. It takes work to remind yourself to stay in the present moment, because how many of us know we've been through a few things, and then when that person does something else, we go all the way back to everything they did, because that's how our minds work. When you get hurt, everything that hurt before comes back to that one hurt. And now you're overwhelmed and you're ready for the rage. You're ready for, to act out instead of being calm in that moment, instead of being present in that moment and accepting what's happening, and then being able to actually think it through, being able to actually understand, this is what happened. I don't have to act out. I don't have to even go crazy. I could take a moment to dwell on this, to see what I want to do and how I want to move going forward. Instead of reacting, walk away with your dignity. Don't burn nothing, don't bust nothing, don't beat up nobody. Just like, okay, this happened. I see it. I understand it. I can accept what this situation is. Accepting meaning you're fully conscious of what's happening, and now I'm going to move accordingly. That's all it is. But that's what self-soothing comes in. You got to learn how to take a moment and breathe before you actually allow an action to consume you, which sometimes happens, and it happens because we haven't made that thought process, that mental process in our minds that adversity is going to happen. Crazy things are going to happen. But where's my mindset going to be when situations like that happen? And we don't know how we're going to feel until, of course, when it happens. But when you're practicing that, when you're learning to stay present, because a lot of times nothing can be going on, but your mind is running rampant. You can have 1,000,001 thoughts happening. You're thinking about everything, especially women. I'm not a man, so I can't speak of a man, how their mind works, but especially women, if you are going through different things, if you wear many hats like your mom, your wife, your grandmama, your auntie, you work a job, you got to take care of another family. However that works, you have 1,000,000 things on your mind. And I feel like as women, we multitaskers. Not to say men are, I'm just speaking from my point of view because I'm a woman. But as women, we're multitaskers. And all while multitasking, we can definitely have 1,000,000 things going through our mind, which is why myself, I oftentimes suffer from depression. I suffer from anxiety. It's certain things I can't tolerate. But at the same time, I have to keep myself very optimistic. Otherwise, I'll be in a corner hiding, honestly, because sometimes my thoughts get the best of me because I have so much going on. So you have to learn to be present. Take away all of the thoughts that happen either in the past or either you're thinking forward in the future. Take away the thoughts, learn to stay in the present, and move in your present state. So when something happens or adversity happens, you're not allowing your mind to go reach back to every time you've been hurt or betrayed or lied to. You're actually accepting what's happening in that moment, because a lot of times we can't even forgive as quick as we can because we're stuck in the past. We are so stuck in past events that when it happens again, it's an unload. And that's only because you haven't dealt with the past. You got to be able to deal with what has happened before in your own time. But if you know you're dealing with that, make it even more of a point to stay present, because people gonna try you. Human nature. People gonna do things you don't like. They're gonna say things you don't like. It's gonna get hard. It's hard to even sometimes think about. So people have to be able to accept those, the responsibilities of their actions. So blaming love is not the key at all. You have to be able to take accountability for yourself when you're going through the process of loving someone and them loving you back, and being able to work as a team and communicating with each other and understanding what they need versus what you need, and being able to compromise. Yeah. Do love make you do crazy things? Nope.